So we're gonna pour the flour in. I just use parchment paper because it makes it easier to pour in. Plus you're gonna bake your biscuits on it. And then I'm gonna add the baking powder, baking soda, and salt and sugar, and pulse it for a few seconds. If you're doing this by hand, you would just whisk it together. So now we're going to cut the butter into the flour. This is cold butter that I just took out the freezer. You can do this by hand using a pastry blender. So we're going to crumble this down into pea-sized crumbs. So I'm going to pulse it a few times and then I'm going to run it. Okay, so it's at pea-sized crumbs. And then I'm going to pour in my buttermilk. It was in the freezer for about 15 minutes. And we're going to pour in enough buttermilk that this creates a dough and it pulls away from the size of the food processor bowl. So it came away from the size of the bowl. Okay, I'm going to lightly dust my surface down with flour. And I'm going to turn the dough into the counter here. And the dough is sticky, which is a good thing because you don't want the dough to be too dry, but you don't want it to be too wet either. So what I'm going to do is just pat the dough together. Just kind of lightly knead it. Now a little bit more flour. Then I'm going to press everything out evenly. And then I'm going to turn the dough. I'm going to fold it in half. Press everything together evenly. And then I'm going to turn the dough again. Fold it over. I'm going to do this a total of 5 times. Just don't knead it. We're just folding and pressing the dough down because we don't want to create too much gluten. So I'm going to just scrape my surface down here with all the remaining dough. Sprinkle the surface down with more flour. And I'm going to press the dough out as evenly as possible. Then I'm going to use my biscuit cutter to dust the biscuit cutter in flour. And I got this about a little thicker than 1/4 inch. It's about halfway up my finger. So I'm just pressing it to make sure it's even as possible in thickness and smoothness. So we're going to get about 6 biscuits out of this. 6 jumbo biscuits. Now I'm going to put this on a tray lined with parchment paper, and I'm going to place them side by side. Now for the remaining dough, what I'm going to do is just pull it together and just press it down. We're not going to knead it, any kneading action, we're just going to press it. My oven is preheated at 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and I have here egg yolk that I just beaten really well, just the yolk by itself here. And I'm going to brush the tops down lightly with the egg yolk. This is to help the biscuits brown, and it's going to give it a little gloss as well. So this is going to bake in a preheated 425 degree oven for exactly 13 minutes. If your ovens, you really have to know your oven in order for it to work right, because if your oven temps are not right, it's not going to bake properly. So it's an idea to have a oven thermometer so you know exactly how your oven is baking, at what temperature. So go in the oven for 13 minutes. So I got some melted butter, and I'm going to add some honey to it. I'm using orange blossom honey. And I'm just going to mix the two together. And then my biscuits are done. I'm going to take them out of the oven right now. You see how beautiful they are? Look at those beautiful biscuits. So now, they're still terribly hot, but I just want to show you the reason why we place them together is to help them rise. And you see they have nice size, and you can tell it has layers. So I'm going to dip each biscuit in the honey butter. It's very hot. So I'm going to open up one of the biscuits for you. And so you guys see. Look at how beautiful this biscuit is. Nice and fluffy and soft, tender crumb. Wow. This is absolutely delicious. You can taste all the butter and the buttermilk, the nice sweetness from the honey. And these are extra jumbo, soft and fluffy, flaky. Try this recipe, guys. Please share this video. If you enjoyed it, I would appreciate the support. Please give me a thumbs up. Please remember to live and be well. Let's do what we can to come together to love one another. Thanks for watching.